Life on Turkey Lane. How are you guys tonight? Well, I have a super special recipe for us. As you know, or you may know, if you've watched enough of my videos, I make homemade yogurt. There for a while I was doing it every week, but I at least every couple of weeks make homemade yogurt. I like it better than anything I can buy in the store. Plus I know what ingredients are in it, and so I make yogurt all the time. But this time I have a special yogurt. And, it's a special one because now the yogurt you can buy in the store, most of them have what they call live active cultures, probiotics in them, but there are very few strains and there are minimal amounts of those live active cultures. Well, the reason most people eat yogurt or like yogurt is because it is a good probiotic. And so tonight I'm going to share with you, though, like I said, a very special yogurt. And for this you're going to need a couple ingredients to get started. But this yogurt, the reason why it's so special is because it has a particular type of live active culture probiotic in it that is good for your digestive system, and they say it's good for a number of things. So let me read. The yogurt was invented by Dr. William Davis, and you can find his videos on YouTube and learn more about it. But he came up with this yogurt as a way of helping people that have what they call SIBO, or small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. People that have that condition, and if you listen to Dr. Davis, most of us have that condition because we have too many of the wrong types of bacteria in our intestinal system, and it causes things like IBS. I'm sure most of you have heard of IBS. It can cause other digestive problems, just a number of things. And so, but I'm going to read to you a list of the things that they claim this yogurt can help a person with, and or the many benefits of it, should I say. Not only does it help the small intestine with the bacterial overgrowth, it is supposed to aid in some other health benefits. This yogurt is called L. reuteri. That's the strain of bacteria that it's made with. And I'm going to explain to you when we do it the special way that it's made to amplify the effects of it. But anyway, I'm going to go through a short list here that Dr. Davis has given, that this yogurt, its extra benefits, not just ridding our gut biome of some bad bacteria, but it has some other benefits. So I'm going to read these to you. The ladies might like this. It's smoothing of skin wrinkles due to an explosion of dermal collagen. So this is going to add some collagen to your diet as well. You have accelerated healing, cutting healing time in almost half. So if you're like me and you're diabetic, you probably are aware that people with diabetes have a difficult time healing. If they get wounded, it takes a long time for the wounds to heal and to go away. So this could be a very big benefit for somebody like me, or you if you're diabetic, to rid yourself or to help yourself if you have an injury. Okay, it also is said to reduce appetite. The so-called anorexigenic effect. Food still tastes good, but you're almost completely indifferent to temptation. So, well, obviously I need to lose weight, and I'm trying to lose weight and become healthier. And so if this reduces my appetite, that's a plus right there. Now for the men, it can increase testosterone. And for everybody, it increases libido. So if you would like an increase in your libido, this might be the yogurt for you. It aids in the preservation of bone density. Reuteri is one of the most important steps you can take to prevent osteoporosis. So if you're a lady or man and you're getting up there in years, kind of like I am, osteoporosis can be a horrible thing. So by just simply eating a half cup of this yogurt daily, it can help prevent osteoporosis. It aids in you getting a deeper sleep. Although it says this benefit is enjoyed by less than 20% of the people who do this program. So, but still, if you're one of the 20% who gets a deeper sleep, that's all the better. It causes increased empathy and the desire for connectedness with other people. So if you're having trouble, you know, and I've had this too at times, if you're having trouble being kind to people that get on your nerves, or people just get on your nerves in general, this yogurt might help you. And then it says the probiotic effects that may include prevention of small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So this yogurt does have the probiotic strain that's needed to help with SIBO. So anyway, that's why I'm going to try this yogurt. I already make yogurt anyway, so doing this isn't going to be really any harder. It does take longer when I ferment my normal yogurt, or I can't even remember the word now. Maybe this will help with brain power as well. But when I'm culturing my regular yogurt that I make, and I usually use whole milk or even 2% milk, as long as it's ultra pasteurized, you can just pour it right in the container here. But when I make my regular yogurt, I basically use like another plain Greek yogurt as my starter culture. This recipe, to get started, you actually need the Lactobacillus reuteri culture. And then also we're going to put an ingredient called inulin in it. And inulin is a prebiotic fiber that the probiotic Lactobacillus reuteri eats. And then when it eats that fiber, it, like, say if I'm putting 200 million, I think it's called FCUs, of the probiotic in my yogurt, by eating that prebiotic fiber, it's going to multiply the count of the probiotics. So, but those are the only two ingredients that we're going to add to our milk, or in this case, we're going to use half and half. So let's get started on this recipe. I'm really excited to try this. So I'm going to aim you down here, show you what all we have. And so I've gathered all my things together. Now this is the Reuteri, which is Lactobacillus reuteri. They're tablets, and it's a probiotic. But like I said, you can ask, well, why can't I just take the probiotic in the tablet form and just be done with it? And it's because, well, first of all, the yogurt tastes delicious, and second of all, like I said before, by culturing this in your milk, it is amplifying the effects and the number of units that you're getting. So to start this yogurt, we're going to need 10 of these. But now don't be afraid, because once you buy this and you make your first batch of yogurt using these, there's 5, then you can make more yogurt from some of the yogurt you already made. You can use a portion of that already made yogurt as your starter then. So, okay, we have 10. of those in there. And so now we're going to crush this up. And you can order this from Walmart.com. Of course, it's shipped to you. They don't have it in the store, or Amazon. It's really not super expensive. This bottle, you get 30 tablets, and it will take me a long time to go through those, because once I make my first batch of yogurt and I continue to use part of that batch as a starter, I won't need to use these tablets again for quite a long time. Now, these tablets do need to be crushed, and so I'm going to try to crush them, smash them up here. Now, I heard that this wasn't hard to do, but anyway, I'm going to crush these up. You can't hardly see me, but I'm going to crush these up. I'm going to try to use this mallet to do that. And then we're going to get to the rest of the recipe. So let me get these crushed up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and put them in a Ziploc bag and just crushed them up. I smashed them up, and so now I'm going to transfer them. Hopefully we get all of them into this bowl. And they really crushed up pretty easy. It wasn't hard at all. And I want to get every last little bit that I can. Okay, and now to that crushed, those crushed tablets, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the prebiotic fiber, Inulin. And Inulin, all it is it can be made out of 2 things, but it's usually made out of, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's right here on the tip of my tongue. Well, if I think of it, I will post it. For whatever reason, I can't think of it now. I will post it on, I'll put it up on the screen here. So, but anyway, you'll need 2 tablespoons of Inulin. Go ahead and do level tablespoons. You don't need to go overboard on it. Oh, I just thought of it. It's made out of chicory root. If you've ever heard of chicory, I know back in the olden days they used to make coffee out of it. But it's made with chicory root. That's all that Inulin is. So it's safe. It's a prebiotic fiber. So I'm just going to stir that in with my BioGaia, or the Lactobacillus reuteri. Okay, so now that I have that mixed in there and I have crushed those tablets, I'm going to pour it. Now, I've left my half and half out so it can get closer to room temperature. So that way it doesn't take it so long to heat up in the Instant Pot. And just like I almost always make my yogurt, I do it in the Instant Pot. It's super easy. And so I got the Instant Pot out, but we're going to do a little bit different technique than I normally do. Okay, so I'm going to pour just a little bit of my half and half in here. And then I'm going to mix this up. Let me grab a fork here. I'm just going to mix this up until it dissolves. This might take just a little bit because the prebiotic fiber is kind of like a starch, and so it'll clump up a little bit at first, but it shouldn't take very long to dissolve that in there. I was trying to look for I have a little teeny tiny whisk someplace, but you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go ahead and grab a bigger bowl. Okay, yeah, so I went ahead and grabbed my big measuring thing, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, and then I'll get my big whisk out, and I don't want to lose any of that, so I'm going to go ahead and pour just a little bit more of the half and half in there. Now they say that this yogurt has a better flavor and texture and consistency of any other yogurt, and you can't buy a yogurt like it on the market. So this is something that has to be made here at the house or at your house or homemade. I'm going to get all that I can. Okay, let me get my whisk over here. I always think that I have everything that I need out, but it always seems like I forget something or I have to change something, but that's just life. That's all about, that's how you cook and stuff like that. You just go about it, you do what you got to do. So anyway, as soon as I get this whipped up in there, now you don't want to leave any lumps, you know, like I said, because this is going to be your starter culture. And you don't want to leave any lumps in here if you can help it. Okay, I think we're getting close. And you could probably use an immersion blender to do this when you're starting out with your tablets. Now, once you get your first batch of yogurt made, you won't have to do this at all. You just simply add your half and half, 2 tablespoons of the inulin, and a couple tablespoons of your already made yogurt. Now, I will say, when I normally make yogurt, my Instant Pot has a yogurt setting. And I normally just pour it right in the pot there, and it does fine. However, this Reuteri, my yogurt setting on the Instant Pot will culture the yogurt at 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, the Reuteri yogurt needs to culture at 100 degrees. So, but I have a solution for that here. I think I'm starting to make some progress on that. I don't have any big hunks of the inulin left in here. But anyway, if you have an Instant Pot, and yours has the yogurt setting like mine does, you can make your regular yogurt in there on the yogurt setting. It's just fine. But since my yogurt setting on mine will not let me decrease the temperature. But I have a sous vide setting on my yogurt, on my Instant Pot, that will allow me to set the temperature and the amount of time that I want to culture this yogurt. Okay, so I think I have that mixed in pretty good. It's doing pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my quart of half and half. And now, if you do it like this, the easy way like I'm doing it, you will have to buy half and half that is ultra pasteurized. Let me show you that. I bought the Organic Valley half and half. And down here you can see that it says ultra pasteurized. If you don't buy ultra pasteurized half and half, you will need to heat it to 180 degrees Fahrenheit and then cool it back down to 100 degrees. Okay? So this is why I go ahead and buy the ultra pasteurized. And also when you buy your cream, and this is just for health concerns or whatever, you need it to only have 2 ingredients, and that is milk and cream. So this Organic Valley just has milk and cream. Now I will, let me aim you up here for just a second. I don't like talking with you not being able to see my face. I will tell you that the Walmart brand cream, half and half, Great Value brand, has extra ingredients in it, so you need to watch your labels. It has some kind of citrate and something else in it, along with the milk and cream, and you do not want those ingredients. Not in your diet, and certainly not in your yogurt. So make sure that the half and half you buy only has milk and cream. Okay, so there, let me get off my soapbox now. You want to try to buy the best ingredient that you can, especially if you're doing this because you're interested in improving your health. So let me pull you back down here. Now I've added the rest of my half and half into the bowl, and I'm just mixing that in. and give it a good stir to make sure that all of this milk is inoculated with the cultures. Okay, that should be good enough. Now I've got my Instant Pot here, and like I was just saying, the yogurt setting on this would culture this at too high of a heat. But fortunately, and I think most of the Instant Pots have, well, a lot of them have a sous vide button or setting. Now I have already I've got my yogurt ring in here. If you don't have a yogurt ring, you can just take your rubber ring out completely for this. It doesn't need it because it's not pressurizing. But I've already filled the pot here with a couple inches of water, and I filled it with slightly warm water. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sous vide this in wide mouth pint-sized jars. So I'm going to just go ahead and pour my milk mixture and the starter cultures, some in this jar. And before I put them in the Instant Pot, I've got this is actually a canning ring that you can put on the bottom of your canning pot. And I'm just going to put it on the bottom of my Instant Pot here. Show you inside of there. I just put it in the bottom of the Instant Pot there because since I'm going to put these glass jars in there, I don't want them sitting directly on the bottom of the pot. Okay, so I got that jar in there. Now I'm going to fill this one up. These are going to be quite full, actually. Okay, I'm going to set that over there. And I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get another jar, because I don't want these to be really that full. There's only 1 quart of liquid here, but it seems to me like these two should have taken all of that, and it hasn't. So I'm going to grab another jar, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've cleaned and made sure another jar is clean, and I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this in here just to get some out of this jar. And do just like that. We'll wipe the rim of these jars off so we're not having a problem here. You do want to make sure when you're making yogurt that your jars and things are as sanitary and clean as you can possibly get them, because you're dealing with live bacterias, and you don't want to introduce, these are the good bacterias, and you don't want to introduce any bad bacterias to them. So I'm just going to use this. Okay. All right. So we got a partial jar here, but that's okay because we want to get all that we can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to evenly put these jars in my Instant Pot here. Okay. And now I'm going to take my lids, the canning lids, and I'm just going to stick it on top. I'm not going to screw them on. I'm not going to use the rings. I simply want this in case there would happen to be any condensation from the water heating up that it don't drip down into my yogurt and contaminate it. So I've just gently placed the lids right on top of there. And now I'm gonna put my lid on. And now I'm gonna see if I can bring you over here and show you. I don't wanna have to move this too much because I don't want those spilling over in there at all. But I'm gonna see if I can show you my settings here. And this is gonna be very difficult, guys, but I'm gonna have to do it with one hand. Okay, so you can see the display screen on my Instant Pot here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the sous vide button. I've got it set already for 100 Fahrenheit, and then I'm going to push the sous vide button again. And this has to inoculate for 36 hours. Okay, and so now when this, it's gonna beep here in a minute and say that it's on. Okay, and now when this gets up to 100 degrees, then the timer is gonna start counting down from 36 hours to 0. So anyway, like I said, this yogurt making is super easy. Now, when I normally make my normal yogurt, and I'll put the directions to that video. I'll put that video up in one of the corners. But normally, I will culture my yogurt for 8 hours. That's the way I like doing it. It's super easy. Usually 2 ingredients. Just like this, you don't have to heat it if you use ultra pasteurized milk or half and half or whatever. But because this is going to be done at a lower temperature, and in order for these bacteria to multiply and eat up all that inulin and to become as big of bacteria and as robust a bacteria that they need to be to help your digestive system and your microbiome in your gut, this has to culture for 36 hours. That's a whole day and a half. So, but I hear, and I've seen some videos and different things, I hear that this is super good yogurt. It's extremely good for your body. And so that's why I wanted to try it. I wanted to see if I could get some benefits that I need for my digestive system, for my health, by having these probiotics. And the one thing about L. reuteri is Dr. Davis explains that, you know, probably maybe even when you're born, but back in the day when people didn't eat processed foods and everything was grown in the gardens and was mainly organic, people were born with this L. reuteri bacteria in their gut. But because of the process of, because our diets are the way they are and our lifestyles are the way they are, and the number one thing that has killed this bacteria from our bodies and removed it from our bodies is the invention of antibiotics, and that the fact that most of us, if you're living on Earth in this modern age right now, you've probably had a dose or 2 of antibiotics in your life. Well, antibiotics don't just kill bad bacteria, they kill good ones. And over the course of having these antibiotics, they have completely killed off the L. reuteri bacteria in our guts. And the L. reuteri bacteria is the good bacteria that helps us with digestion and oxytocin in our brain and just all kinds of numerous things, and we need it in our bodies. So by making this yogurt, it's going to replace that in our bodies. And it's supposed to have some really, really good benefits. So I'm looking forward to trying this. And I will come back after 36 hours and we're going to take a look at it, see what it looks like, and we'll give it a taste test. And then I'm going to eat this. You eat a half cup a day, you know, for as long as you want. And I'm going to come back in like 30 days or so, and I'm going to see if I can report what benefits I've had, or if I feel any different or feel any better, just whatever. So be looking forward to that video, and I will be back in 36 hours, guys. Can't wait. Hey y'all, well, through the magic of television, it's been just a few seconds for you, but as you saw, it's been about 36 hours for me since I started this Reuteri yogurt. Got about 1 minute left on the timer, and I'm kind of excited to see how this turns out. It's my first time using the Instant Pot with the sous vide method, and also my first time making Reuteri yogurt, and a little bit different process, but I'm excited to see what happens. And as soon as this timer goes off, we will get this out of here. The one thing about Reuteri yogurt is you only want it to cultivate for 36 hours and no longer, because then you need to get it in the refrigerator so it will stop its cooking process. And as you can hear, the timer has gone off. So I'm going to point you down here and we're going to get these out of here. Now I will tell you, I have seen that this yogurt has turned out different ways on different videos. On some of the videos, the people, when they did their first processing, it showed where the whey had separated from the yogurt, and that's perfectly okay. And then some of them had, where especially like on their second batches that they made with using a previous batch of yogurt as their starter culture, there was no whey separation. So I'm excited to see. There's a lot of firsts here, so I'm excited to see how this has turned out. And at the moment, it's looking pretty good. As you can see, that's not jiggly or it's not liquidy, so we know that it happened the way it was supposed to. And I'm excited to see there was no whey separation. So that's really good. So yeah, it looks like it turned out pretty perfect. And now I'm going to go ahead and just dump a little bit of water off of the lids here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my rings on and stick these in the refrigerator for several hours so this can stop processing. Now there is a little bit of whey on top, and that's perfectly okay and normal. But so far it's looking like this has turned out just absolutely great. And as soon as this cools down, like I said, it needs to stop processing, because after 36 hours, the bacteria start dying off. Well, we don't want any of that bacteria to die off. We want to be able to get it all in our belly. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and let it get to cool down. And we'll be back to give this a look and a taste test. So see you in a bit. Okay, everybody. Well, the Reuteri, if I could talk, the Reuteri yogurt, has been refrigerating for several hours now, and I wanted to come on here and give a taste test, and we're going to take a look at it, see what the texture's like. So I am so excited for this. I have been waiting, well, as you know, for at least 36 hours to even see if it turned out, and now waiting these few more hours to give it a taste test. And so I pulled the jar that's just a partial jar out of the refrigerator, and we're going to take a look at it and see what it looks like, see what it tastes like, and maybe do just a little review here in case you want to try making this for yourself. And so we put it in the refrigerator for a few hours to cool it down and to stop it from processing any longer, culturing any longer, because any time after 36 hours, the bacteria in the heat will start to die off. So we don't want them to die off. We want to be able to use them for our benefit. So anyway, so as you can see inside the jar there, it looks super, super good. Very creamy looking. I didn't have the problem or any issue. It's not really a problem with any. I've seen some of the videos where there's a whole bunch of whey separation, where there's a line of whey at the bottom, and that's still edible. That's fine. You can still use it, but it's best if you get it where it's like this, where it's, you know, solid, where you don't have the whey. Oh, this is nice and thick. This is definitely like a very thick and creamy Greek yogurt. And so now I've kind of got a large spoonful there, but I'm going to take some of that off of there. That's very, very nice and thick. Very good texture. I'm impressed. I will say I'm impressed. I've been making yogurt for a long time, and my yogurt always comes out great. It's always good, and it's always normal. The L. reuteri, which stands for Lactobacillus reuteri, has a way thicker texture and consistency. So let's taste it. Now, I've heard that this doesn't have a real sour, like, you know, most yogurts you eat has a pretty sour taste to it. Now, when I make my normal homemade yogurt, mine usually doesn't come out real sour, kind of like the stuff you get at the grocery store. It doesn't taste like that. It's much better. But I've heard that this is even less tangy, and that it almost even has a sweetness to it, so that you don't even have to put anything in it when you eat it, you know, like any kind of sweetener or berries, whatever. So let's give it a try. It's definitely different. It's got a different flavor. It really does. Now to me, it's tangier than my normal yogurt. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's just different than my normal yogurt. It almost has like a citrusy flavor. I can't pinpoint it. I'm gonna grab another spoon here and take another little test. Don't want to use the same spoon because I think I'm going to use some of this out of this jar as my starter cultures for the next batch. So yeah, now it is, the consistency and the texture is a lot different than, it's more like your Greek yogurt, and you know, than it is a regular yogurt. It's good, but it is different. It's not like your regular yogurt. So, now, the Lactobacillus reuteri, the brand that I use, BioGaia, that's the same brand that Dr. Davis uses, and it is flavored with mint, and I think it says mandarin. Now, they have claimed, everybody who's used this have claimed that they don't really taste that flavoring in it. I will tell you, I think that is why there's just a little bit different of a flavor with this than my normal yogurt. But it's still definitely good, and I'm thrilled to try this. I plan on trying this for you. One serving is a half a cup. and that's all you need per day. You really probably should not eat more than that per day, because this is an amplified probiotics, and so, you know, I don't know if you can have too many probiotics, so I'm just going to do the recommended amount per day. And then after 30 days, I'm going to try to see if I have any good results, any bad results, or any results at all from eating this, to my health, to my digestive system, just any of those things. And I'll try to come back after 30 days. So it should be around March 30th. And I will try to give you an update, and we'll see how this has worked out. So thanks for joining me at Life on Turkey Lane. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye.